Hey guys, it's Alexandra from On Rockwood Lane. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a letter K with perler beads. This letter measures about 2.5 inches wide by 3 5/8 inches tall. I am using a square grid for mine. This is the kind with the puzzle pieces so you can interlock them. And this one measures 5 3/4 inches wide. I have some tweezers here, and I'm going to be using a tan color bead for mine. You're going to need 164 beads for this. You'll also need an iron and some parchment paper so you can fuse your beads together. If you'd like to follow along, I have a chart for this. I will link in the description box below. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with 19 vertical beads. And now I'm going to work to the right to have 4 beads there on the top and 4 beads on the bottom. I'm going to work down so I have 8 beads in total here on the top. And I'm going to work over to the right to have 3 beads. I'll work up to have 3 beads. Then I'm going to work to the right to have 3 beads. Work up to have 3 beads. Work 1 bead to the right of that, up to have 3 beads, one bead to the right of that, and 1 bead on top of that. And now we've met the top line there. We're going to work to the right to have 4 beads. Then diagonally down to the left here, I'm going to place a bead and 1 underneath that. Then I'll place 1 to the left of that. Work down to have 3 beads. Place 1 to the left. Work down to have 3 beads. Then I'm going to place 1 to the left of that, 1 below that, 1 to the left of that, 2 below that to have 3 vertical beads, then 1 to the right of that, 2 below it to have 3, 1 to the right of that, 2 below that, so there are 3, 1 to the right, 2 below that, so there are 3, 1 to the right, 2 below that, so there are 3, and 1 to the right of that, and 1 below that makes 2 vertical beads here, and you'll see that now this leg is even with where we started. We're going to work to the left to have 4 beads. And now we're going to start our climb back up. We're going to have 3 beads in total here. Then 1 to the left of that. 2 more beads upward, so there are 3. One to the left of that. 2 more beads upward, so there are 3. 2 to the left of that, so there are 3. 2 on top of that, so that there are 3. 2 to the left of that, so there are 3. And now we're even with the bottom there. We're going to just fill in to bridge those together. And now the outline for the letter K is finished. We just need to start filling it in. And the letter K is now all set. Next step is going to be to grab some parchment paper and iron the beads, which I'm going to show you using my letter E. Alright, so when I do the ironing, I like to do it on my washing machine. I have this mat that I put down when I iron. It has magnets there so it sticks. I know it's not going to fall off. And it's a good surface to iron on. I have the plastic grid here with my letter and some parchment paper. The side that's the most waxy, I'm going to put it face down on top of my letter. And you can reuse the same piece of parchment paper over and over again, so it's not a big investment there. My iron has 1 through 6 on it, depending on the type of fabric that you're ironing. The instructions for perler beads say medium heat. I did try it at medium level and it was taking way too long to fuse my beads and then they were fusing unevenly, so I actually just put it up at the max level, which is 6, and it works within the time that it's supposed to. It's about 15 to 20 seconds. So I have the parchment paper there, and I'm just going to place my iron on and work in a circular motion. Make sure that as you're working, you get the corners and the edges, because those sometimes take a little bit longer to fuse together. And then you'll be able to check it by just moving your parchment paper. It should peel right up. If you have any beads that are sticking to your parchment paper, carefully put it back down and iron over that section again. Once you've peeled back your paper and you're satisfied with the fusing here, then you'll want to flip it over. Be careful when grabbing the letter because it's going to be very warm, so either let it sit for a moment so it can cool off and then you can pick it up, or I just take my grid and flip it over. And then you can put the grid on the side, and you're going to fuse the back the same exact way that you did the front. So you'll just take your parchment paper, place it over it, and iron in that circular motion again. This is super important to have a surface that is okay to be ironed on. In about 15 to 20 seconds of ironing, you'll be able to go ahead and peel up your paper, and the back side will be fused together as well. Be careful when touching it because it's still going to be warm or hot. So you might want to just let it cool for a moment before you flip it back over and move it to wherever you're going to let it cool. And if there's any spots that you're not happy with the way they look, or you want them to be a little bit more fused together, then just place your parchment paper back on top and iron it a little bit more in that section. Just be careful because the longer that you iron it, the smaller the holes are going to close up. It doesn't take very long for it to cool down, and then as it cools, it becomes more sturdy. So you can actually use it in projects or string it up if you want to use it as an ornament or maybe a name tag for a gift. Guys, thanks so much for watching my video. You'll find the chart linked in the description box below. Please smash that like button and hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.